It's just so special for such our club, mate, our club.
Lastly, after 57 years of pain, it's coming home.
Hey there, TJ here, and welcome to Yeahthedees, where I am going over round 7, 2022 against Hawthorn at the MCG on Saturday, the 30th of April, in the awful 4:35 slot. But the best thing about being in the 4:35 slot is you can at least order Carlton Draft from the bar and get a full strength beer. What a bizarre lead up in the week towards this game. Having 5 people out with health and safety protocols is pretty epic. 5 premiership players going out doesn't help anyone. But we did have some good talent coming in. So we had Jack Viney and Jake Lever both coming in, and Tom McDonald. All 3 of them are premiership players. Cade Chandler became the sub. Jake Melksham also came in as well. And Toby Bedford got a game, which was fantastic. So as for the Hawks, they didn't really make too many huge changes. That was the teams. It's with missing 7 premiership players, but that's still a pretty solid list. So we were nowhere near full strength for this game. And the Hawks are, they're a plucky outfit. They're up and about. They've got a really good coach. They've got some belief, got some talent still from back in their premiership days. But yeah, let's crack on through it. So we got the first clearance of the game, but couldn't make the most of that opportunity going inside 50. Unfortunately, the ball went down the other end and Jacob Kazitsky was able to kick a goal. The Hawks actually get the first 2 on the board and we start a bit slowly, but I kind of expected that. I expected the Hawks to come raging out of the gate. They have in the previous games that they've played. The Hawks really got the game on their terms for the first 10-15 minutes of this quarter. They kicked the first 5 against Sydney the week before, so I was expecting them to come out like that, and they kicked 2 goals 3 before Bailey Fritsch can get on the board 12 minutes into the quarter. So we even things up pretty much for the later end of that quarter. We kicked 2 more goals ourselves and we go into quarter time 2 points down, which wasn't too bad. Yeah, look, halfway through, 60% of the play had been played in Hawthorn's forward half. So they did jump us a little bit. They were really efficient with the ball going forward. I thought Tom McDonald started the game really well. He was marking things and being a bit of a menace for the Hawthorn backline. It was Toby Bedford's goal in the first quarter that was really the moment for us, finally kicking his first career goal. It was great to see all the players get around him. I love it when, all the players give someone a bit of love after they've done something good. And, Toby's been very patient waiting for his opportunity. He looked good in the preseason games. Yeah, he looked good when he came on as a sub in round 1. That was definitely the moment of that quarter. But yeah, good on Toby Bedford for doing that. There was a really weird moment in this game where Stephen May took 2 marks and they were pretty clear marks, and the Hawthorn player just came in with a punch behind and they weren't paid. And I thought that was quite weird. I've seen it happen in a few games where someone takes a mark and really stops and controls the ball, and to me that I believe that's a mark when someone stops and controls the ball, but they let the player come through with a fist and they call play on, which is a bit weird. I didn't just see it in this game on the weekend, I saw it in a few other ones, so I'm not sure if that's an instruction coming from AFL House or the guy that instructs the umpires. But yeah, it was just a bit of an interesting one. Unfortunately, we'll lose our streak of winning every first quarter for the season, but that's not really important. The most important streak is getting those 4 points. Yeah, we went into the second quarter trailing just by 2 points. Onto the second quarter, and Tom McDonald gets a goal after taking a mark from a James Harmes kick. Like, James Harmes absolutely turned on Dusty mode then, pulled out a pretty sweet don't argue, and then snapped a ripper. But yeah, T-Mac, I guess, he didn't know exactly where he was on the field, and just decided to take the mark. I also think that maybe with him being on the edge of selection, maybe that influenced him a little bit to get a few more on the board to help his case for staying in the side. When it comes down to it, as a supporter, I really shouldn't be caring who kicks the goals as long as we're kicking goals. But yeah, would have loved to see Harmes, finish that one off and, possibly get a goal of the week. But those sort of things are quite fickle, so they're not really important when it comes down to it. I thought Max Gawn was absolutely huge in this quarter. He really lifted. You got another huge banger from 50, which is just absolutely fantastic. He's really established himself as the best big man in the comp. And he's good for at least one of these big goals a week at the moment, pretty much. But he gets 2 in this game. And he's got another All-Australian Blazer on the way, which is going to be pretty incredible. nobody can match him. No, like nobody is going to get anywhere near as good as Max Gawn. Like the next closest is probably Sean Darcy, and he doesn't dominate games the way that Max Gawn dominates games. He is all around the ground, taking marks, taking intercept mark, being the link man up the field. Absolutely unreal. Like we are just so blessed to be able to watch Max Gawn, Christian Petrarca, and Clayton Oliver all go at it together. And we're witnessing history here. We're witnessing one of the best trios we've ever seen. Like I'd put this trio up against Dean Cox, Chris Judd, and Ben Cousins. Like it's a great trio to have. But yeah, also during this quarter, Brown got a free kick for this goal from Sam Frost, sort of hitting his arms, and we've watched it plenty. This is what Sam Frost does. He freaks out a little bit, and if he can't get his fist to the ball, he'll hit the player's arm, or he'll tie them up or do something like that, hoping that the umpire won't pay a free kick. And he got one this quarter and copped another couple in the next quarter. Ben Brown gets his second goal off some awesome crumbing from Toby Bedford, which gave him a good opportunity. Back-to-back goals there. But Jacob Kaczynski is able to get another one on the board just before closing out the second quarter. Yeah, very interesting first half. I thought Clayton Oliver was quite good alongside Max Gawn, Ben Brown making an impact. And I thought Jake Bowey and Stephen May were also quite excellent in this first half. So yeah, we turned a 2-point deficit into a 9-point lead at the main break, which isn't a lot, but it's always a better place to be. It's always better to be up and then down. Jacob Kaczynski kicks the first goal, so they've got 6 on the board. All 6 of those goals have been sourced from Melbourne turnovers. So, yeah, they're really upping it on the turnover game. And what Hawthorn did was that they played on from almost 50% of all marks straight away. So they really tried to keep the ball moving with us. Another Ben Brown goal from getting tied up with Frost. Also thought Sam Wiedemann played the Luke Jackson role pretty well. I thought he was quite competent with that as well. Max Gawn pumps another one home from 50, which is quite fantastic. He just got in front of, I think Sicily was on him at the time. Just got in front of him and he had absolutely no chance of spoiling it. So Maxie, you can just take it on the chest and go and smash another one home. Chad Wingard gets a cheeky goal, which I missed because I was taking a piss, but no. And then we're up to our third quarter blitz, which is starting to become a little bit of a regular thing, and we go bang, 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 bang.
Bang! Bang, bang, bang!
So Ben Brown gets another goal. This was, I'm pretty sure that one was also given away from Sam Frost tangling up with him, and you just can't do that as a defender. You give the umpire no other option when you make the forward go to ground. You just can't impede him, and they're going to get favoured that way. You give the umpire no other option but to pay the free kick. In this little batch here was Toby Bedford's second AFL career goal. It was probably one of my favourite just because of how it came about. I really loved T-Mac's work up on the wing to dodge an opponent and hit up a target, and then he got the ball to Christian Petrarca, who hit him on the chest. In this third quarter, Clayton Oliver really got a hard tag and barely touched the ball, and Christian Petrarca stood up, and he was hitting up targets inside 50 quite brilliantly. He picked out quite a few good targets inside 50 this game, and I thought that was a real improvement on previous weeks, as his kicking has been a bit wayward in previous weeks, but that was great. What also was great was Sam Wiedemann's fly in from the side to clunk that mark, go back and kick a goal. In my opinion, it was game over from there. I was already pretty comfortable before that goal in the third, and I could just sit back at the MCG, put my arms back, and just watch the rest of this game. The goal after that to Christian Petrarca was also quite excellent. I enjoyed the collective work of Bailey Fritsch and Luke Dunstan to get it to him. Bailey Fritsch, goes down on one knee, scoops it up, spins around and gets the handball out. And then Dunstan, who I had no idea in the stands how he got a foot to it. I thought he was caught for sure, but upon the replay I was able to see that the ball hit his foot, and he was able to direct it towards Christian Petrarca, who then kicks that goal. So that was elite and pretty great work by Bailey Fritsch and Luke Dunstan. Get late into the third quarter, and Joel Smith rolls his ankle. Turns out it's actually a fracture, so he's going to need surgery. He'll be out for 8 weeks. I know I ripped into him pretty hard last week, But, I still want the kid to do well. But yeah, this will just open up some opportunity, I guess, for Tomlinson to come back. Hibbard's not that far away either. Salem will also come back shortly. And then I don't know what that does with our wing, because Angus Brayshaw's been killing it on the back line. He had another really great game today. But yeah, that was sort of the notes I had for the third quarter. It was pretty good. Don't have too much to talk about in this fourth quarter. Basically because we had 4 opportunities and didn't make the most of them. We weren't able to kick those goals, which just sucked a little bit, but that's just what it is. So yeah, I guess a lot of people were probably upset, that we didn't really put them away in this last quarter. Yeah, it was just a little bit of inaccurate kicking. Yeah, so we had 4 opportunities and didn't make the most of them. If we kicked 2-2, nobody's too worried about it. I wasn't worried about Hawthorn getting anywhere close to us in this last quarter. Yeah, we were all over it. We really hold teams, and we can hold the game, and when we need to, and when we need to put them away, we do it. And that's it. So we've got really nothing to fear with these games. The Hawks are a very well drilled side, and they tried to play quick. As I mentioned before, they played on from almost 50% of every mark that they took, and that's 15% more than their usual average. So it's definitely a directive from Sam Mitchell to play on quickly. They also had Finn McGuinness play on Ed Langdon and play on the outside of him, so he was always in between Ed Langdon and the boundary. So that really affected Ed's game. Ed still did some great stuff. Yeah, he was just thrown off a little bit, as was Stephen May when they put a player between the goal line and him. So he approached Adam Uze at quarter time and they had a chat. And then what I actually noticed after that was that they put Joel Smith in that full back role. So Stephen May could do a bit of his work a little bit higher up the ground, and Joel Smith kept him covered. Once Joel Smith rolled his ankle and went off, T-Mac went back and played that role. That was pretty much the game, and that was what the Hawks threw at us. There was some interesting tactics there that I think we might see other teams play and try against us. But yeah, they're a well-drilled side. Hawthorn, it really annoys me that they haven't bottomed out after winning some flags. Let's go through some player stats and see how the boys went. So we'll do disposals first. Clayton Oliver had 33, Christian Petrarca 31, Max Gawn 29, Angus Brayshaw 26, Jack Viney 23, Bowey 21. All these players had a really unreal game. I thought Trent Rivers played a lot better. He seems to be getting rid of that niggle a little bit that he has been hindered by over the last sort of 6 rounds. He seemed to be running a bit more freer. Thought James Harms absolutely had a ripper game in moments. Jake Melksham, for his first game back in the year, really showed off his sublime foot skills. He bobbed up in moments. Like, he only had the 12 disposals, but he had 9 kicks. Ben Brown kicks 4 goals off 11 disposals, which is quite good. Luke Dunstan, he was around it, but didn't get too much. Same with Jake Lever and some of the other forwards, not getting too much of it, but there's always going to be a bit of a spread when it comes to how the ball's distributed. As for meters gained, one of my favourites, Stephen May absolutely crushed it again. Christian Petrarca, he was unreal after halftime. He did a lot of good work and got 3 goal assists from hitting up targets inside 50 directly. Clayton Oliver had a quiet third term, but really set the game up in the first half. Thought he was quite good. Max Gawn, another amazing captain's game. He got like 1 billion super coach points. So if you traded him out early like I did, you'd be massively regretting it. I just saw his price about to plummet, and I'm like, I want to save that money, and threw somebody else in. Now I've got to try and find a way to get him back in because he is killing it. James Jordan and Jack Viney had 6 tackles each. Angus Brayshaw 10 marks. Clayton Oliver was 7. Maxie had 6. They're doing some pretty good stuff. 8 inside 50s each from Oliver and Petrarca. Max Gawn, Clayton Oliver, 11 score involvements. Petrarca, McDonald, Bowey are involved all there as well. Angus Brayshaw had 9 intercepts, with 4 of them being marks. Max Gawn had 3 intercept marks. And then we also had 3 players spend 100% time on ground, and that was Ed Langdon, Jake Lever, and Stephen May. Jaden Hunt, with all his pace, still spent 91% time on the ground, which I think is quite ridiculous. And Gorney played 89%. For a big man, that's quite epic. Now let's just go through the team stats quickly. Pretty even on disposals and kicks. I think both teams, got enough of the ball. We just beat them in inside 50s. Just a little bit cleaner with our disposal. A little bit down on our efficiency inside 50. And I was actually quite surprised to say that the free kicks were so lopsided. But I guess when you got Sam Frost giving away like 4 free kicks for being a dickhead, then it's going to be quite easy to knock that up. I did see in the timeline earlier that when it said we had 17 free kicks, 8 of them were for high tackles. So that's quite a high number. That just shows a bit of lack of discipline from Hawthorn in doing so. Absolutely smashed them in hit-outs and clearances. Centre clearances were almost even, but we were just better around the ground. A few more contested possessions, but yeah, they'd have a bit more uncontested when they were trying to switch and do that sort of thing. Had more marks even, but they were playing on, so a bit more, so that didn't matter too much. But we were a bit cleaner inside 50. So yeah, let's go to the coaches' votes now. And the coaches' votes gave Big Maxi Gawn the perfect 10. Clayton Oliver got 7. Dylan Moore got 6 from Hawthorn. James Sicily got 5 from Hawthorn. And Christian Petrarca got 2. I thought I'd add something different this week, and I've tried to work out which coach voted for which. So coach 1, I would guess, would be Adam Uze, and coach 2, my guess would be Sam Mitchell. So they both gave Max Gawn the 5. And then, yeah, Clayton Oliver got a 4. James Sicily a 3. Dylan Moore a 2. And a Christian Petrarca a 1. Where the other coach gave Dylan Moore a 4, Clayton Oliver a 3, James Sicily a 2, and Christian Petrarca also a 1. So that's pretty much how that would have been divided up. As for my votes, I gave Ben Brown the 1. Kicking 4 goals in this game was quite great. You're always going to get votes for me when you kick multiple goals, and are quite important. Gave Jake Bowey the 2. I thought he was very important across the ground. His disposal is elite, and he makes some really great decisions, and he's always willing to take on the tough kick, and usually it works and we get rewarded for it. I gave Clayton Oliver the 3. Yeah, set the game up quite well. He's just, what an incredible player. He's probably, one of the best midfielders I've ever seen in my life, and possibly one of the best demons I've ever seen in my life. But I had to give Christian Petrarca the 4 just for being for bringing other players into the game. He had quite a few goal assists, and when Clayton Oliver was down, he was the one that stepped up and made the difference in the third quarter where we kicked those 4 goals in a row. The 5 votes I gave to Stephen May. Most meters gained, spoiling the ball heaps. He just does so much in that back line, and is an absolute marvel to watch. But of course, the 6 goes to Max Gawn. He had an absolute ripper game, and there was definitely no one better than him on the field then. As for the leaderboard, we have 2 players drawn on 24 votes each, and that is Christian Petrarca and Stephen May. Clayton Oliver is just behind on 22, with Ed Langdon on 16, Maxi Gawn on 15. And we've got the rest just there that you can see. Thanks for watching my Round 7 review of Melbourne versus Hawthorn. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I am very much looking forward to this St Kilda game. I think we will put them in their place, and it'll be quite fun. So let me know your thoughts about the games in the comments below. And of course, go the D's.
Petrarca! Oh wow! How good is that? Sparrow to make it a 3-goal, 3-pointer dive. He's got it! Surely not another one. Handball to Oliver, streaming through. Bang! Bang, bang, bang! Melbourne are the premiers for 2021!
And it's just so special for our club, mate, our club.
Lastly, after 57 years of pain, it's coming home.